Hello, my friend. Welcome to another Broodwar replay cast here from the ladder. We've got TAENGU versus ZELOT, and this is going to be the start of a bit of a series here because you see this guy in the bottom right, ZELOT. He has been making a name for himself recently. He has always been a ladder monster, but he recently made it into the KCM team tournament. He was picked by none other than Queen, who wanted him on his team. He didn't have the greatest results in the first half of the KCM team tournament, but he has been crushing it on the ladder recently. He is number 2 in the world right now in the ladder rankings, 2800 ladder ranking, very, very strong. And this player, TAENGU, is not making his way into any of these tournaments. He hasn't been in ASL as far as I know as of yet, but he has as well been doing very, very well on the ladder. He's got like almost 400 games played now. He's one of the most playing, one of the most practicing players on the ladder right now. He is, as Artosa said, you have to practice, and Terran players practice more than anyone else, and TAENGU is a good representation of that. He just practices all the time. Has over 300 games played, as I said, and why I say this is going to be a series is because we've got more than 16 games on the ladder between TAENGU and ZELOT, and I'm going to be going through some of them, just checking them, seeing which ones are the best, and only bringing you guys the cream of the crop so you guys can enjoy some excellent Broodwar high tier ladder games. And I can see what kind of cheese ZELOT is bringing out, and maybe copy some for myself for the ladder. This is a matchup that I really struggle with, and actually a lot of Zerg players struggle with. It's difficult, to say the least, to win a game in the middle part of the game. To progress into the late game is very, very hard. It's something I've had a lot of trouble dealing with, and something that ZELOT tends to just ignore. You know, he often goes for these more aggressive strategies and leans into that, right? We know from some of these videos, some of these stats that have been coming out recently. I watched an Artosis video about it, where he was talking about how, and showing the statistics about how in ASL, the pro players' win rate in this matchup is very high for Terran as they go into the mid game. It's high for Zerg in the early game. It's very high for Terran in the mid game, and then in the late game, it kind of evens out once again. So leaning into that a lot is ZELOT. ZELOT always going for aggressive plays. He's always looking for that kill as early as possible so that he can kind of subvert that mid game, at least not play it the way that most players will go for, right? Not allowing the Terran player to take complete control of the map and then try to drop them at multiple locations, or just keep spamming out irradiates until one of the areas weakens, and then, you know, coming in with a big bust. Those are dangerous, right? Those are very dangerous moments for the Zerg player, and ZELOT don't want no part of that, man. He just wants to play his own game, and he's going to take a third base here pretty darn quick after dropping his Spire. This is a 2.5 hatch with the third hatch over at another base, and it's actually going to be the closer base. Now, this to me screams Mutalisk all in, but ZELOT, I don't think he's the type of player to go Mutalisk all in. His control is good, but it's not like Soma level control. It's not that great. To me, I feel like he's gonna go for something else. He's gonna try and hide maybe a Hydralisk Den or something, maybe over here. Try to go for a different win condition here, because I just don't think he can rally straight forward and win against TAENGU. Is very, very solid. He has so much experience. He's played against all the best players in the world, and you know, he's any Terran player, you're gonna know exactly how to hold off a Zerg Mutalisk attack, and 2 Hatchmuta all in has not been that strong as of late, because Terran players have really figured out that, oh, you just get your factory, you go into your starport, you get your armory, put that down, and then of course you're just gonna hold on as best you can with turrets until eventually you get Valkyries out, and then once you've got 2-3 Valkyries, you push across the map, and the Zerg player's not gonna have any economy behind it. They're not gonna have a transition. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see what Zealot has in mind for this play. He's gonna come in and deal a little damage here to start things off. You know, getting a turret's nice. Preventing the turrets from going up around that barracks is, of course, going to be impactful. We've already got a bunker up here at the front, but it's not going to be able to defend this supply depot. We don't have marine range yet. Now the marine range finishes, but it's not in time to actually stop that supply depot from going down. So that's a big moment here for Zealot. He really does need to get this 3rd gas started pretty darn quickly. And look at that armory already on the way. He knows what to do here. He's just going to go for that immediate... Where is that armory actually? Did it finish already? Oh yeah, it's up there. So he's got the armory finished. He's gonna start to build some Valkyries here, and he should have some out pretty darn soon. Hydrosten, yes, it's gonna be hidden over here in the center right. Marine or SCV wandering around everywhere here looking for that base. He hasn't been able to find it just yet, and he's not going to most likely find that base. He's probably gonna check down here next, but he just has no idea where that is. And it's been well hidden here by Zealot, and I don't think it's going to be scouted for quite some time. Look at him, he's scanning all around. He's scanning the natural. He's trying to figure out what's going on, but just can't quite figure it out here as of yet. See, he even scouted this base. He scouted all these bases and this one. I guess next would be to start scouting up in the top right, or top left, excuse me. That is a play that could happen. It's not that strong. If you have a Nidus, I mean, it doesn't really matter where your base is, because it's very, very quick to reinforce. If it's down here, if it's up here, it's still very far for the Terran player to move to actually stop that. So, still harassing here, although not a lot of harassment damage done. We've got these 2 turrets and all these Marines. TAENGU being very passive, sitting back at home and just kind of waiting for his Valkyries to kick in, which makes sense. Evolution chamber here at this base. Looks like a SCV did manage to make its way over here. I guess spotting out that base, knowing where that is now, is a big deal. He's going to be able to make a decision now as to what he wants to do. Like, is he going to go for a tank? Is he going to go for tanks with this Valkyrie push? That's kind of like the fantasy style. Building tanks here. It looks like maybe not going to go for that. He's just building pure starports here, or just pure Valkyries here with 1 starport, and not really going any further than that. We've got lurkers on the way now. Lurker's going to be morphed just out in front, and if he gets the lurkers up in the front here and we don't have tanks, ooh, I really don't like this for TAENGU at that point. Yeah, that could be dirty. It would be really, really deadly. Good thing he's going to start to move out here a little bit. He's delayed this long enough, finally moving forward. And he's not going to get caught in this position here. So lurkers are just going to be sitting out. Oh, hold position lurker could be huge. Oh, big shots here. Great hold position lurker there by Zealot, managing to get that catch and deal so much damage to those Marines. Now, they are spread out here. You're not going to be able to advance into this position. Not against this defense. 4 Valkyries. 4 Valkyries kills these mutas so fast. They don't have any armor on them, so they're just gonna get absolutely shredded if he tries to take this fight. But at the same time, TAENGU can't really push out against this. This is a lot of lurkers, and you've got the mutas overhead to kind of draw fire. Oh, nice snipe there, getting one of these Valkyries, but there's still 4 now. I guess he produced a 5th. We're going to go up to Science Facility, and he is going to get that add-on. He needs to kill this turret, actually. Otherwise, he won't be able to get the tanks out. Another base coming down here for Zealot. This is what I'm talking about, guys. This is just Zealot in a nutshell. Oh, boy. Big stim here. He's going to run right through all of this. Damn. That was actually really well done. Quite a bit of kills on some of these Marines. Looks like he's gonna try and run up this ramp, but we do have one lurker on the high ground, so he can't actually make it up there. Still, it's not that much. Maybe you could stim and run by and spread out and then kill the lurker. And once you kill the lurker, you can definitely kill that sunken colony. Mutas are coming back over. Once again, we're producing a lot of Hydras, getting Hydralisk upgrades as well. I imagine it's going to be a Hydralisk Defiler game from here. Yeah, Hydra speed is done. Looks like a miss rally with a lot of Hydras running forward. Lurker's going to burrow here. All the Mutas die, but they bought a little time for the Lurker to come up. Uh-oh, TAENGU going to get around the backside, though. Ooh, this is not good. Yeah, this is the problem with these plays from Zealot. You know, he has some good ideas. He has some pretty decent execution, but this is not good at all either. Oh my goodness. Yikes, this is pretty painful. The things that he does are very unorthodox, and they're unorthodox because they are not very powerful. They're not very robust, right? The way that Zerg has played out over the years, how the meta has shifted, has been to make Zerg more robust against the constant kind of pressure from the Terran player, making it hard in the early and mid game. But you know, the back and forth is still very, very difficult, but it makes the Zerg player just a little bit safer against everything. Now, with these like kind of unorthodox plays, it becomes a lot harder for the Zerg to hold off everything. Like this base here with that second ramp made it really, really difficult. And I think that really Zealot's lost a huge amount of momentum here now in this game. He's not really going to be able to hold on to this space much longer. Tanks are here now. 2 tanks going to come and siege up on this low ground. We do have this base down here, but he hasn't got it mining yet. Zealot's starting to fall apart, unfortunately for him. It looks like he might get that. He doesn't quite get it. Unfortunate. Getting that first kill on the science vessel would have actually been huge, but I don't think it's going to prevent this base from going down. These Marines are in here. They're dealing that damage. And Zealot will have to retreat out of this area. He's going to go after the tanks here. He gets one tank gets picked off. Not bad, not bad. Some more lurkers are over here. Maybe he can come in with the mutas and lurkers at the same time and kind of finish this off. But I guess not. He's just going to let that hatchery go down. Hatchery down here at the bottom center is going to start to be reinforced with drones. We've got 33 drones on the field, but 52 workers for TAENGU, and he's got this third base up and running now. Things are looking worse and worse as the last few tanks, or last few lurkers get picked off here for free by a tank. That's not a good look for for Zealot here. He's going to try and hide that way in the back here, but of course tank with range, or with unsieged mode, can just outrange the lurker, so he does pick that off. Quite a few lurkers here in the middle, but this is not a force you're really hoping to gather here. It's not like, yes, finally I've got 8 lurkers, now my army is so powerful. This is kind of a weird force where it's like, okay, I can hold a position. Definitely. Looks like this one tank is gonna get picked off. No, the D-Matrix, so clutch. Lurkers running forward though are gonna get quite a lot of kills on these Marines, but I don't think he can make the finishing blow here. And these mutas gonna fly in and just get ransacked. Everything getting pushed back for Zealot. That was a trade, but again, not a lot of economy here for Zealot. And you know, that was a big army, but it's not going to be easily replaced here. He's making 4 more lurkers, so he's going to go back up to like that 7, 8, 9 count of lurkers. Again, not the greatest fighting force, right? You're going to be able to hold a position pretty well, but jumping on top of an army it's risky, and it takes a lot of you know, you're gonna lose a lot to make that happen. He's jumped here on top of 1 tank. He's lost quite a few lurkers. Gonna go ahead and burrow with these Hydras, trying to take this fight here. TAENGU gonna spread and actually fight with the Lurkers, but does eventually back off, realizing that he's probably gonna lose the majority of those remaining Marines. And he's got 4 more tanks back at home to work with. He should just regroup with this army and go ahead and take another fight. 12 o'clock has been taken here by TAENGU. Bottom left now being taken by ZELOT. This has been an interesting back and forth here. We've got +2 done now for ZELOT. So actually matching the upgrades here. Upgrade for upgrade. With TAENGU at the moment, but he does not have +3 attack coming up here, so I'm not sure if he'll be able to fight late game against this. Lurker's gonna burrow on the left hand side. They're gonna wipe out that Marine army, and only a few Hydras have gone down. One Lurker fell as well. He's gonna go up the left hand side, try to get up here, but it looks like TAENGU matching that army very nicely. He's gonna be able to cut that off. Maybe drop another couple of irradiates, and that's what really starts to make this play not worth it in the end. Trying to fight with this kind of battle Zerg style Lurker Hydra, you're just going to continuously get irradiated here. You don't have the plague to throw onto the army here, the Dark Swarm to kind of back up your Lurkers and Hydras, and then the plague onto the vessels to kind of eliminate them and lower the count of irradiates that are available. And that's what's going to really get Terran ahead as time goes on, is those constant irradiates over and over again. Every time you engage, you know, 2, 3, 4 Lurkers get irradiated, the Terran backs away, and you end up taking a worse trade. He's going to run forward here once again, getting right on top of this. TAENGU kind of quickly in a bit of a panic almost, setting up all of his tanks at the same time. But it's actually going to be a great trade for him. He surrounds this army and picks it all off. That's a huge tank count now. With 5, 6 tanks here, he can push through pretty much any small Lurker Hydra army. We need to see a hive, but there's just no hive here. Trying to fight it out is ZELOT with just pure Lurker Hydra, and I think the doors are closing in on him. He's got another base over at the bottom left, but he's just now taking the gas. He does not have that operational. Without Defiler, I guess this play just does not work. Tanks are going to rule supreme here. The Marines now with +3 or +2/+2. He's going to be +3/+3 here very soon. Going to break through the natural. He tries to dive on top of the tanks. GG is called. And TAENGU takes that game away, grabbing himself a point on the board here in this little mini series.